Here's the shift. Early large language models, or LLMs, kept delivering obvious jumps in coding and reasoning. That trained everyone to watch the next model release and expect a big leap. The source says that phase is slowing. Gains are now more incremental. If that is true for your team, the next advantage does not come from waiting for a stronger general model. It comes from making a model useful inside your actual business. That means your data, your terminology, your rules, and your decision paths. You should care now because this changes where money and effort go. The question is no longer just, which model is best on a leaderboard? It is, can your system absorb your organization's knowledge and keep it current? That is an architecture question, not just a prompt engineering question. The article is careful to frame customization as more than a one-off fine-tune. The core idea is to encode an organization's own logic into the model and its surrounding system. That includes proprietary data, internal vocabulary, and the signals that drive a real go or no-go decision. The examples are practical. A network hardware company needed help with niche code and proprietary languages. An automotive team used model customization to compare crash simulations with physical results and then suggest design changes. A government agency in Southeast Asia used a regional model to support local languages, local context, and tighter data control. The common thread is not raw intelligence in the abstract. It is fit. A model becomes more useful when it can reason in the language of the domain, not just in broad internet language. The strongest part of the piece is the architectural argument. It says firms should stop treating AI customization like a pilot and start treating it like infrastructure. That means reproducible adaptation workflows, version control, governance, and production reliability. It also means not tying all of your business logic to one vendor's stack if you can avoid it. The source pushes 3 shifts. First, build customization as a durable system, not a bespoke experiment. Second, keep control over data, training pipelines, and deployment where possible. Third, plan for continuous adaptation because regulations, taxonomies, and workflows drift over time. This is where ModelOps matters. Model operations, or ModelOps, is the discipline of monitoring, updating, and governing models after deployment. If you accept the article's premise, the moat is not just the model. It is the update loop around the model. There's a real signal here, but it needs filtering. The signal is that generic model gains may be less decisive for many enterprise tasks than domain adaptation and system design. That matches how a lot of practical software shifts happen. The sponsored part is the leap from that observation to a broad claim that customized model weights will define the winners. Maybe, but the source does not prove that every firm needs deep model-level customization. In many cases, retrieval, tooling, structured data access, and policy layers may deliver most of the value without training a model heavily. The piece also comes from a partnership with Mistral AI, so it naturally emphasizes model ownership, alignment pipelines, and sovereign deployment. Those are valid concerns. They are just not the only path. The takeaway is strong, but narrower than the branding suggests. If you run product, platform, or data work, the practical move is simple. Start by mapping where generic AI is good enough and where your domain logic is the bottleneck. Then choose the lightest customization method that closes that gap. For some teams, that is retrieval and workflow orchestration. For others, it may be fine-tuning, reinforcement learning, or a region-specific deployment. Build with versioning and drift checks from the start. Keep clean boundaries between base models, proprietary data, and adaptation logic so you can swap components later. Also ask a hard question. Do you need to own model behavior directly, or do you mostly need reliable access to your own knowledge and rules? That distinction matters for cost, control, and speed. The broader point is clear. AI advantage is moving away from raw model spectacle and toward how well systems absorb institutional knowledge.